Thunderbirds Are Go is a New Zealand-British science fiction television program produced by ITV Studios and Pukeko Pictures. It is a continuation of the 1960s television series Thunderbirds, created by Gerry and Sylvia Anderson, and is made using a combination of scale model, miniature effects and CGI created by Weta Workshop. In comparison to the 1960s series, the reboot features updated character, vehicle, and set designs while retaining many features from the original. Set in the year 2060, the series follows the exploits of International Rescue, a life-saving organization equipped with technologically advanced rescue crafts for sea, land, air and space rescue, headed by a fleet of 5 vehicles named the Thunderbirds, which launch from Tracy Island, the organization's secret base in the Pacific Ocean. The main characters of the Tracy brothers, the 5 sons of ex-astronaut Jeff Tracy, who pilot the Thunderbird vehicles. The first series, consisting of 26 episodes, was broadcast in 2 halves. The first 13 episodes aired between April 20–June 2015, and the second half between the 31st of October 2015 the 23rd of January 2016. A second and third series, each consisting of 26 episodes, were commissioned in December 2014 and April 2016 respectively for broadcast between late 2016 and 2017. Storyline. Set in the year 2060, Thunderbirds Are Go follows the exploits of the Tracy brothers, Scott, John, Virgil, Gordon and Alan, the sons of ex-astronaut Jeff Tracy, who form International Rescue, a secret organization dedicated to saving human lives. They are aided in the missions by technologically advanced vehicles used for land, sea, air and space rescues, which are called into service when conventional rescue techniques prove ineffective. The most important of these are 5 machines named the Thunderbirds, each piloted by one of the 5 Tracy brothers. Thunderbird 1 First Response Rocket Plane, piloted by first responder Scott Tracy. Thunderbird 2 Auxiliary Equipment Transporter, piloted by demolition, heavy lifting and logistics expert Virgil Tracy. Thunderbird 3 Space Rescue Rocket, piloted by astronaut Alan Tracy. Thunderbird 4 Underwater Search and Rescue Mini-Submarine, piloted by aquanaut Gordon Tracy. Thunderbird 5 Communications and Logistics Satellite Hub, manned by Space Command Communicator and Dispatcher John Tracy, aided by engineer Brains, his robot assistant Max, the brothers' grandma and head of security Tanusha Ko Carano. The Tracy family reside on Tracy Island, the hidden base in the South Pacific Ocean from where they operate. International Rescue's main adversary is the Hood, a crime lord bent on causing global destruction and seeking control over IR and the Thunderbirds. Secretly the uncle of Ko Carano, the Hood is also responsible for the assumed death of Jeff Tracy after his ship supposedly crashed. Therefore, Jeff is not featured in the series. This leaves eldest brother Scott as the team leader. The organization also enlists the help of English aristocrat Lady Penelope Creighton Ward with her chauffeur Aloysius Parker as the London field agent. They help when a mission requires criminal investigation. Penelope and Parker's primary mode of transport is Fab 1, a 6-wheeled limousine fitted with gadgets and weaponry for espionage missions. Cast. Production. The production crew for the show consists of the following members that assist with it: Series Director, David Scott. Episode Director, Theo Bainton. Writer, Rob Hoagie. Executive Producers, Estelle Hughes, Giles Ridge, Richard Taylor, and Andrew Smith. Production Designer, Ben Milsom. Head of Miniatures Department, Stephen Saunders. Music Composers, Ben and Nick Foster. Film editor Anthony Cox. Production of each episode for the revamp differs somewhat from that of the original 1960s series. Extensive handmade live-action model sets are still used, since the show uses computer-generated characters rather than puppets. For the character creating each episode required a different approach. Production begins with the sets, in which the film crew have to devise the camera setups for the scenes to match with the movement and positions of the CGI characters and craft that would be later imposed upon the filmed footage. This includes any manipulation of the scene to match movements made by CGI characters or craft, such as a character opening a door, or objects being displaced by a thruster, and any special effects used on the set, such as smoke and wind. The sets were designed with a similar method to the original series, including using household objects. For example, the Thunderbird 1 bay of the original series included an orange hand juicer as part of it, and the revamp did the same thing with its version of the bay. The characters and the titled Thunderbird craft themselves have been created using CGI owing to the understandable budget constraints typical of modern children's programming. All of the CGI sequences to be superimposed onto live footage of the miniature sets first sketched on paper to work out and detail the sequences. The actual shooting miniatures are individually 3D scanned to provide the necessary information from the CGI elements to later be accurately registered within the environments. Computers are then used to roughly model the layout of the CGI elements needed for the sequence. Details are then introduced, such as characters' costumes, craft setup, atmospheric particles, flying debris, etc., and are made to follow very closely to the camera layout and movement of set props. The music for the show was given a modern flair, but keeping the very memorable feel of composer Barry Gray's original score. Episodes: Series 1, Series 2. A second series consisting of 26 episodes is set for broadcast in October 2016. A third series that will also consist of 26 episodes has been commissioned and will be aired in 2017. Comparisons to the original series. Owing to the revamp, there are quite a number of notable differences between it and the original series, which include the following. The absence of both Carano and Jeff Tracy makes Grandma Tracy the head of the house and housekeeper. She is also portrayed as wearing a tracksuit, being bad at cooking, but being proud of the boys. Tintin Carano had a name change to Tanusha Ko Carano, due to copyright problems with the popular character Tintin with Hergé's graphic novel series, The Adventures of Tintin. Apart from operating as International Rescue's head of security and continuing to be romantically linked with Alan Tracy, she is both the first female and first person outside the immediate Tracy family to be a Thunderbird pilot. Thunderbird S was specially created by Japanese mecha designer and anime director Shoji Kawamori, who cites the various Gerry Anderson shows he saw as influences on his career. Lady Penelope Creighton Ward now has a pet dog called Sherbet, and appears both younger and less mature with a normal speaking voice, rather than slowly spoken clipped English. Alongside a change of romance from Jeff to Gordon, her car, Fab 1, now can fly, similar to the version in the 2004 movie adaptation. Both John and Gordon have had the hair colors swapped. The same is done to between Scott and Virgil. In addition, only Scott and Parker keep their original facial features, the rest have new looks. Brain's stutter is less pronounced. He has a darker complexion, speaks with an Indian accent, and has a robot assistant called Max. The Hood no longer has psychic powers, now wears a suit, uses holographic disguises, and his base is now a large flying fortress. The Tracy brothers' uniform sashes and belts have different colors from the original series to match the Thunderbird craft they pilot, whilst also now specially tailored for each brother. For example, Gordon Tracy's suit has a built-in respirator because of his role as an aquanaut, due to a higher level of restrictions in children's programming, and the show's basis of saving lives. The brothers no longer carry guns, and death and violence do not happen, although Thunderbird 4 is still armed with missiles. Smoking and alcohol drinking are also not shown. In addition, whereas it was used to power everything from vehicles to cooking appliances, nuclear power is now shown to be considered dangerous and abandoned as a major energy source, although still exists in one form or another. Artificial intelligence is more advanced now. The time frame of the show is now set around 2060, and significant events occurred before this date. An example is that a global conflict in 2040 occurred, with remnants of it still remaining in 2060 and having ramifications that impacted the world as a result. All Thunderbird crafts retain some original features of the launch procedures, but have new features to them. Thunderbird 1 is raised rather than lowered to launch position. Virgil descends head first by rail and then swings into his craft. The brothers are changed into uniforms before entering the craft via robotic equipment. The Thunderbird crafts can be remote piloted by the respective Tracy brother and have had revamped designs. Thunderbird 5 generates pseudo-gravity through rotation, the strength controlled by the speed of the spin. It now includes a space elevator pod that connects it to Tracy Island, and can be moved by rockets when needed. It also functions as the control station when rescues are in motion. Of the 5 Thunderbird craft, Thunderbird 5 underwent the most drastically different design change when compared with its original counterpart, reflecting more contemporary space station designs. Thunderbird 5 also acquired a resident AI in the form of EOS, who also assists John with various tasks on the station, as well as general company for him. The protruding buttresses on Thunderbird 3 operate as mobile grappling arms, which fire grappling lines to connect to debris. The white choker is removed and replaced with the cockpit windows. The midsection of Thunderbird 3 has also been revealed to be a hangar bay for specially designed pod vehicles for space operations which require smaller craft. Thunderbird 3 also appears to be able to operate in a normal atmosphere if required. For instance, when transferring passengers between itself and Thunderbird 2 in mid-flight. Thunderbird 2 has a large hatch on the roof of the craft, which can be opened during flight when needed. It also has magnetic grabs for rescue operations and for retrieving Pod 4. Thunderbird 4 has lifeboat-like pods for sending rescued people up to the surface of the water. Thunderbird 1 now has an underside cockpit, bay doors, and a magnetic grab, but no longer carries a mobile control station with Thunderbird 5's improved role in the show. Pod vehicles are assembled using a centralized pod, which is given attachments that are fitted by robotic arms for the purpose required. The iconic vehicle, the Mole, is now assembled in this manner, a pod fitted with caterpillar tracks and a drill on the front. The container that Thunderbird 2 carries is now called a module, rather than a pod. Reception. Fans and critics reacted very positively to the new series, despite some negative reactions from fans of the original version, claiming the show was clearly made to attract a new generation of fans instead of appealing to nostalgia. However, ITV's decision to air episodes at 8 AM sparked a negative fan reaction and was criticized by journalists too, claiming that moving it from the original episode episode's 5 p.m. slot would alienate the adult viewership it gained from the first episode, with many also feeling the series could match the success of the BBC revival of Doctor Who in 2005 if kept at its 5 p.m. slot. Thunderbirds Are Go currently has a 7.3 rating on TV. Common 6.8 on IMDb. Accolades. App. There was an official Thunderbirds app launching in October 2015 to accompany the second half of Season 1. An official app was also released on the 20th of May 2015 as an add-on to the features on the website. The app is available on both Google Play and Apple's App Store for free. Home media. Digital releases. All episodes are available to purchase digitally in full 1080p HD on Amazon Video and iTunes. DVD releases. Audio CD releases. Magazine. An official magazine was published by DC, Thomson and Pukeko on the 15th of October 2015. It features comics, facts, puzzles and more. Each issue includes a free gift.